Hey guys, Izzy here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be ranting about the Kahl missions. It's been a long time coming. Actually, it's been a while since I've actually wanted to go ahead and talk about this, because oh boy, have I grown out of these fucking missions. Now, I remember previously I had mentioned how I liked the Kahl missions because they were kind of like a breath of fresh air, and I still feel like they kind of are, but they've gotten to a point where they are a lot more of a chore to complete rather than, I guess, a breath of fresh air, or I don't know, like a relief of the like repetitive formula. I don't know. I can't tell you how much I find these missions to be extremely insufferable. Like, they are so annoying to have to complete every single week. And it's not like these missions are hard by any means. I mean, the real challenge is not falling asleep doing these goddamn missions, because goddamn, these objectives can be literally, like, they can make or break the fucking mission for me. And mainly I'm talking about very specific objectives, because obviously we have a lot of objectives with these Kahl missions, and some of them aren't that bad. Some of them are just collecting, the dead corpse of your brothers or whatever, or maybe getting some of the fucking, what's it called, uh K drive parts for whatever reason. You collect some of the parts, and it's not really hard to find those objects, because for at least the K drive ones, they're pretty bright, so you're gonna find them in the mission pretty fast. But for anything else, like for example, killing 10 enemies while with grenades while airborne, or in general killing 10 enemies with fucking grenades when you have at least 5 brothers with you, is absolutely impossible, because they end up literally killing every single one of the enemies that you hit before you can even kill them with the fucking grenades, and I hate it. Now, it's not that big of a deal if, of course, you don't have the brothers, because then it's just a lot easier. Of course, barring running out of grenades and not having them spawn at all, which does tend to happen a lot, apparently. For some godforsaken reason, the drop rate is so fucking ass, especially for something that is like, what, you get to grab like 5 grenades, which isn't even enough to kill one. But you know, I digress. I digress. Of course, there are other difficult missions, such as killing 5 enemies within 5 seconds, which can be very impossible depending on the weapon that you have at the time of trying to complete that mission, or again, if you have several brothers following you, it could be actually impossible to complete, because it just won't it won't they won't allow you to kill anyone. They just don't. They just keep killing whatever you hit, and it's like, give me a break, guys. Give me a break. And even when you command them to defend something, you always have at least 1 or 2 brothers with you, and that's enough to actually ruin the mission for you, or the objective for you, rather. So yeah, how do like, what happened with these missions? Like, why are they so fucking insufferable? Now, aside from the point of the objectives, like I mentioned, is what I believe to be the main issue with these missions, and it's specifically the large tile sets that we get. Barring specifically one of them, which is the Corpus tile set, every other tile set, like the Sentient one and the Earth one, is very long, and so it makes it so that if you do happen to miss something like a password, or maybe one of the insignias, well, not the insignias, but the fucking corpses of your brother, or maybe you're unlocking locked, uh I don't know, allies or dogs, whatever, then if you miss one of them, having to traverse back with the sluggishness of Kahl makes it so fucking frustrating to go through this mission, that I I cannot. Like, I'm telling you, like, if I cannot complete all objectives in one run, I am not dipping back into the mission to try and get that last one. I don't care if I won't have enough to buy the fucking Archon shard. Fuck that shit. I am not doing this mission twice. It is an extreme pain to go through the mission once a week. I'm not gonna go through it twice. So that's out of the picture. There's no way I'm doing that. Now, the objectives can be very painful, depending on, of course, which ones you get, depending on what tileset you get it on. And again, the tilesets themselves can be extremely frustrating to go through, you know, if you just don't get the Corpus one, because the Corpus one is the shortest one. And I believe the Corpus one is the most enjoyable one per se. If I have to choose one that's enjoyable, which none of them really are, but you get the gist. It's a small map, and it has several objectives pretty close to each other, so it makes it so that it's not as annoying to traverse. So if you really missed out on any of the K-Drive parts, or one of the corpses of your dead brothers, or anything like that, it's not as annoying to go back to like the edge of that map, because again, it's relatively small, so it's a lot harder to not just miss the not just miss the items, but also just in general, it's a lot quicker to get to point A and point B or whatever. So it's not as annoying. But when it comes to the Earth tile set, if I happen to miss the first password, say for example because I didn't fucking see it, then traversing back to the very beginning of the map and going back from there to find the password, or maybe the item that I have to get in general, then going back to the end of the map, it's way too much. Okay, it's not that bad with a Warframe, but with the sluggishness of fucking Kahl, it is almost impossible. It's a snooze fest. It's just horrible. It's just bad. It's just I hate it. I fucking hate it. Like, I wish, not only do I wish that these maps were a lot smaller, so if in the future by any chance we happen to get more tile sets, I hope that they're more akin to the Corpus tile set. But I also do wish that at some point we get Kahl to be a little bit faster, given some Sonic shoes or whatever. But because, like, it's way too slow, and I get it. It's different. It's Kahl. It's a Grenier. But I mean, you know, sometimes we have Clem catch up with us in the Clem missions. Like, why can't Kahl just be faster, right? Like, is that gonna be like lore breaking? Like, lore wise, like Grenier are extremely slow. I don't think so. I don't think so. It could just be a little bit faster, just to make it so that the quality or going through these missions in general isn't so like painful. It's less painful, really. It's just at the very least a little bit more enjoyable to go through. And well, not enjoyable is not the right word, but you get the gist, right? Now, in terms of the, like I mentioned, if we do happen to get more tile sets, it does also feel like the Kahl missions were kind of abandoned after we got the first, addition to them, which was getting the Grenier sisters, which I now forgot the name. I'm not gonna fucking look it up, but we got that as one of the updates. I believe it was Echoes of Veilbreaker. I think that's what it was called. Correct me if I'm wrong, probably I am, but you get the gist. It was like a second part of the Veilbreaker update, and we got that, which was pretty cool. But unfortunately, we didn't really get a new tile set or anything really new. We mainly just got an additional objective to 2 tile sets, which are the worst 2 tile sets in the game, which is the Sentient one and the Earth one. Because now, not only do we have every other objective in the match, or in the mission tile set, but we also have an additional boss fight, which can take upwards of 5 to 7 minutes, depending on what you're doing. So, I don't know, like, I feel like while it was an addition, and it was kind of nice to see them again, it was kind of also like, wow, I really hate this edition, because now whenever I get them as an objective, the mission is going to take longer because I have to complete an additional boss fight. It's so fucking dumb. I hate it. I fucking hate it. I wish they would have done it so that instead of that, they would have given us a new tileset, which would have been smaller, and given us a boss fight separate for each one, for each sister. So 2 tilesets, maybe on Earth, smaller, and them as the final bosses. Like kind of what they did with the sentient one. They did change it up to have the final boss be the Wolf of Wall. I'm gonna say the Wolf of Wall Street. No, the Wolf of Saturn 6. Yeah, the Wolf of Saturn 6, which was actually a really cool addition. I actually liked it, and even though the boss fight can take a little bit long, it's an enjoyable boss fight because I get to see the Wolf of Wolf of Saturn 6, the Wolf of Saturn 6. So yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like after that they just kind of abandoned Kahl. They really didn't give us any additional stuff, and I wish they did. I wish they provided us with some more quality of life for the missions, because again, these missions aren't just like regular missions. Like they're not meaningless. They do provide us with pretty important stuff, because the currency that this mission does provide comes with very important items in the game, such as the Archon shards or the Archon mods or the Warframe Stynax. It's the only way that we can get him, and Stynax is locked behind the currency of these missions, which do take a lot of currency. And not only that, but the weapons that are locked behind this are also locked behind the currency. And so a lot of things are locked behind the currency of something that is so painfully insufferable. Like it's so fucking annoying to go through, and I just wish that the missions were better. The thing is, not only are they locked behind the currency of these missions, but we really don't get a lot of currency for the the amount of objectives we do in these missions. Most of the time, you're only able to buy just the Archon shard and maybe have a little bit extra to save up for another part. Again, you don't have, well, I mean, not again, but like, you don't have to get the Archon shards or prioritize the Archon shards, but you are losing on an additional Archon shard every week if you don't do the missions or buy the Archon shards in general. And while they aren't, while they're not Tile-forged shards, they're still shards that you can use for maybe some of your warframes that don't necessarily need to have Tile-forged. Well, in general, like not all, no warframe really needs them. It's just that they're a very nice quality of life like addition. Like they're really nice to add to certain warframes, and to have multiples of just the regular ones just makes it so that you can add it into other warframes that you don't necessarily use a lot, but they benefit very well off of those shards. Like it's really great to have some additional health or shield or energy or max energy filled out at the beginning of the mission, or like ability speed, what have you. It doesn't matter what exactly it is that you're using. They're all very beneficial to the warframes that you're using it on. So having that as an option for warframes that, again, you don't want to heavily invest on, so you don't want to use Tile Forged on them, but you now have the option to give them just the regular ones, is pretty nice. And not being missing out on that every week, it just kind of feels like you're wasting the slot. Like again, you're just wasting potentially something that is a lot more valuable than just not having it at all. You know what I mean? Like the thing is that we get so little of this currency that if you actually do want to have a shard every week, if you're trying to also buy Stynax, which I mean inevitably you're gonna have to get, or to for not just for mastery, but right now we don't have a prime version. And if you want to have the you want to have Stynax, but you also want to have its ability in the helmet system, which is a really good ability, you're gonna have to farm it twice. And that is quite a lot of currency that you're going to either have to try and get every week, or get the Archon shard every week, and buy each part maybe every 3 weeks, because that's the extra that you're probably gonna get if you actually do all the objectives. Because again, if you don't do all the objectives, you're not gonna get the max out of it, which is, I believe, what, like 105 or so is what you get maximum. That's very little. I mean, the shard itself is 90, so you're really like left behind with maybe 15. I believe 105 was it was. Maybe it's 115. Maybe I'm just miscounting, but you get the gist. It's really not a lot that you get from these missions. So having to buy the shards every week and just have like save the extra till you have enough to buy the next part could take you upwards of maybe 3 or 4 months before you actually even get a Steineck set. And that's even if it's for just the helmet system. If you want it for just yourself and also for the helmet system, then you're gonna have to do twice that, and that's absolutely terrible. It's either that or miss out on how many weeks, like maybe a month or 2 of Archon shards that could have been additional to your Warframe, which would have been really great to have. Again, it's just terrible. And it's not even just that. I mean, again, you get the Archon mods, which maybe they're not universally used, like they're not extremely fantastic for every Warframe, but for the Warframes that they're used for, it's pretty useful. And you're not able to, get any more points than the ones that you get already. Now, I wouldn't say that adding more objectives would be the best bet to actually get. Like let's do some suggestions, right? Like, I'm complaining, I'm ranting about this mode, but I don't want to just not provide a solution, or at least a suggestion. So I don't think that adding more objectives would be better, because that would give you more points. I think that's a terrible idea, because that would just mean that you're stuck in the mission for longer, even if the objectives are stupid, or like really stupid things, or really minor things. I think that the amount that you get from the objectives should be more. But I also do believe that there is another thing that can be done, like an additional mission, and less insufferable, more so along the lines of the clan missions, where you do a 5 to 10 minute survival with Kahl in the tile set, and you're using your Warframe. I feel like that would be fair. I feel like, Kahl can get the clan treatment and give us an additional mission where maybe it gives us just 50 or 60 more of the currency. That would be fine for me. I don't mind, because at the very least, I'm not using Kahl, I'm using my own Warframe, and it's just a survival, and it's only done weekly. It sounds less frustrating to do than the actual Kahl missions themselves. So keep the Kahl missions as they are, give us a little bit more of the currency per objective, and also just give us an additional mission where we get to do a survival with Kahl, and you use your own Warframe, and done. Give us, like, I don't know, fucking 50 or 60 more currency, and I'll be on my way. That'll be enough for me to actually buy the Archon shard every week, and buy maybe an additional item that same week. That would be great. That would be less of a hassle, because again, as it stands right now, if you buy every single week a new an Archon shard, you are barely able to even get an additional item with that purchase, and that is absolutely terrible. That just makes it so that this grind is more of a turn-off rather than something that you're looking forward to do every week. Versus like maybe Archon hunts, where I personally find it a lot more entertaining to do. It's much less than a chore, and it takes more so around the same time as finishing a Kahl mission, but at the very least, it feels a lot more like entertaining to do. It feels a lot more engaging, and it feels a lot more rewarding because I can get a tile force tile force shard or whatever, plus an additional reward, which, you know, it's not always best thing, but it's something. At the very least, you get two things with the Kahl missions. Well, you get two things maybe every 3 weeks or so, and I just feel like that's absolutely fucking terrible. I do also wish that we would have more priority in the missions. Maybe that would make it so that it feels less repetitive, because we only have, again, 3 tile sets that we get to the missions, and they're all the same, just with different objectives every week. And that's not even that much, because for the most part, like, these objectives are rotated and they're kind of repetitive at the same time. So yeah, it's whatever. But I would like to see more tile sets, more different missions with Kahl, more closed tile set missions where you get to do several objectives, like, again, the Corpus tile set one, because it just feels like that's just the better one out of the 3. But yeah, I just feel like this was a really good idea, and it was executed quite well at the beginning, but it wasn't really given much of a maintenance, I guess, or I guess it wasn't really given the care that it needed in order to make it feel good, make it feel fun, make it feel engaging enough for, you know, the type of mission it is. It's a mission. It's a weekly mission that is not necessarily a must do, but it's definitely something that you do, and it's very beneficial because, again, the rewards that you get from it are really good. Plus, of course, you do clear out the shop. It's whatever, because then you just buy Archon shards and continue on with your day. But again, the amount of things that you buy from this shop are a lot. Again, like Synax itself, the Archon mods, they all cost pretty high, so it's gonna be several weeks before you even get to buy the full store and just focus down on Archon shards. So yeah. Anyways, that's rant over. That's just me ranting about these missions, because I've just been recently, like, losing my shit doing the Kahl missions, that because every time I feel like I just miss something, and it just, you know, makes me lose my mind. I'm like, holy fuck, having to go back to that mission? No, there is no fucking way. I am not going back. The Archon shard, they can shove it up at their ass. I am not doing this mission again. I'll just wait till next week. And it actually happened twice. It actually happened twice where I didn't get to complete all the objectives, because in one of them I actually died. Okay, I actually died, and it was I had the deathless objective. And the reason why I died was because I was fighting with in the Corpus style set one. I was fighting with the spider, and the fucker got me stuck, like, in a stagger loop, which I could not for the life of me get off. And I just died. I just fucking died, and I was like, you know what? I don't even want to play. I literally quit. I didn't get that week's Archon shard. I didn't even get the fucking currency. I was like, fuck you. I don't want to fucking play you. It was just a bad experience. It was just terrible. It happened in an Earth tile set where I couldn't find the last I don't remember what exactly it was, but I know I couldn't find it. I think it was the password, which is weird because, I mean, there's only so many cameras, right? And I just couldn't find it. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And I left. I didn't get all the points. I must have missed something else. Probably the 5 kills in a row, or within those 5 seconds that I couldn't get either, because I had so many brothers with me that they just didn't let me kill anything. And I left that week without getting enough to buy the Archon shard, and, you know, I as frustrating as it was, I was not gonna go back and do the mission again. There's just zero chance. But anyways, that's it for the rant. I hope you guys enjoyed my little banter here with with the Kahl missions. I do absolutely love the character, and I love that we have the option to do these missions. I just wish that that such important things, such valuable things, weren't locked behind these missions, and we just had more of the currency that it gives. Anyways, let me know what you think about the Kahl missions. Drop it in the comments below. Let me know. And of course, if you like the channel, if you like the video, if you like Warframe content, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I upload almost every single week, and I go live pretty much every Thursday and Sunday around 8 p.m. Eastern time, or at the very least, I'm trying to. So if you guys want to catch me live, definitely feel free to do so. Subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.